Okay. Okay, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this week. We have Aurora Vixxon. How you doing today, hun?
Hi, great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I know you are another contestant for trying to buy for the top 10 for Miss Home Sweet Home.
Yes,
Are
that
you
is right.
excited?
Very.
And this is your first pinup contest, I hear.
This is my very first pinup contest of all time, online, in person, anywhere.
Well, you know, the good thing about at least doing online, you're not having the nerves of the in-person aspect
true.
of things, right?
Yes.
So kind of tell us what's been your journey? How did you kind of become Aurora Vixxon?
Well, it's actually started back when I was about 12. So in 1990, yes, I was 12 in 1990. My dad bought a limited edition Mustang convertible, and I loved it. I just absolutely loved it. I was like, oh, Dad, that car is awesome. So he taught me a little bit about cars. Not that he knew a lot, but some. So I started going to local car shows. I fell in love with El Caminos. I wanted one forever. But as far as the car part, that's kind of where that started. Fast forward to I'm 25 now. Friends of mine introduced me to a band that their friends were in, and it was rockabilly. And bam, do I need to say anything else? It hooked me. Hooked me right in the music, and then I started looking it up and kind of researching, and oh my goodness, I love this. So I always had a passion for it. I did not buy my first pinup dress until 2014, and I had a what do you call them, the theme birthday party, and I wanted the pinup party, so that's what I did. Aww. And everybody came in costume, and it was so great, and I just said, I wish I could dress like this every day. But so then I looked into more clothing and hair and makeup, and here we are today.
And now you're entering your first contest.
That's right. That's right. 2 years ago, I met my boyfriend, and he's in a car club, which just actually happens to bring me to Canadian Bombshell Beauties, who I saw at a St. Thomas car show. Therefore, after talking to you and getting into everything more, I'm super just right into it now.
Oh, yeah. And you've been such a pleasure to have in the group.
Thank you.
Now, who are you fundraising for Miss Home Sweet Home?
Okay, so for small businesses that are affected by COVID pandemic, which is everybody, as a business owner myself, I do know the struggles. So I decided to help a good friend of ours. His name's Kevin Andrews, and he owns a barber shop in Cambridge, and it's called Fade Factory. Nice. And he's such a great person altogether. He's been doing this since he was 14. He just loves barbering, and he's a community guy. I know he works with some of the local shops close to him, and they help each other out. Like, he's a great person, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna fundraise for him. Yeah.
Oh, that's great, and I'm sure he really appreciates it.
Yeah, he was kind of blown away.
Oh. And you know, the bonus with this contest, not only are you guys kind of fundraising for them, but you're also kind of getting the word out about them. And you know, there's some people that didn't maybe not know about them that, you know, with the podcast, with the contest and everything else, you know, might drum a little bit of business.
Yeah, which is amazing, and it's great for all the businesses and charities that all the pinups are representing. Like, I think this is just the best idea.
Yeah, Jo MaKay has done such an amazing job. She's truly an amazing soul. She really, really is. Now, going back with this, the pinup contest. So how have you been kind of prepping for it?
So watching a lot of videos, you know, talking to some people that I know have been in, you know, the community a little longer than I have, and, you know, just feeling it out with my heart, and just I'm just going to be me. I'm going to do the pinup thing, and we'll see what happens. I'm like so excited. It's great.
Right. I'm so excited to see who gets into the top 10 and to watch the live event and everything. Now, do you have an outfit picked if you do make it into the top 10?
I do. If I make it, I mean, I signed up pretty late, so hopefully. But if I do have the outfit. It's the one I was going to wear to the pinup show I actually signed up for last year through you, and it's canceled. So that's the one I would wear if I made it that far, yeah.
Well, fingers crossed. Now, what advice would you give to someone who's just not quite ready to take that leap or not sure to do a pinup contest? What advice would you give?
Oh my gosh, that is so me like 6 months ago. Just do it. Like, just go for it. You know, face your fears. If it's fear that's holding you back, just go and do it. Like, I am a pretty big wimp. So this was a lot for me to just push in. I'm so much more confident now from doing this. It helps you as a person grow. It helps you make new friends. All of the pinups have been super supportive and awesome to me. Like, I just can't even explain the family that I feel from everybody, and you don't even really know them yet. Like,
it really truly has becomes a sisterhood, doesn't it?
Yeah. So just do it. That's my advice. Like,
oh goodness. Well, I wish you all the luck. Is there anything you want to add or anything?
No, you know, what I said before, reiterating about the community and the other pinups and the supportiveness and the sisterhood. That's what it is. And I just feel so honored to be welcomed like this, and zero judgment from anybody. And I just feel great, and everybody should do it.
Aw, well, we're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see who makes it in the top 10. So fingers crossed, and we hope that everything works out.
Thank you.
Alrighty, loves. Well, you take care of yourself and you be safe, and we'll chat with you soon.
You as well.
Okay, take care. Bye, love. Alrighty, and we have Dana. Thank you so much for joining us, Dana. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been so exciting and a little nervous. So.
Oh, honey, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. We really appreciate it. And I'm so excited that you are representing Ontario for Miss Home Sweet Home.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I know there are lots of wonderful girls out west, and there are actually a couple more Ontarians now, which is really exciting.
Yes, we're starting to get more Canadians creeping in there, definitely. Mm-hmm. So while we're kind of talking about this Miss Home Sweet Home, we've got the pinup contest that you ladies are into. So kind of what got you into pinup? What was your journey?
Well, I've always really liked vintage stuff. Like, both my grandmothers have had excellent but not the same style. So I've always had the want to play around with that. And like, my grandma always let me like try on her shoes. So I'd wobble around like a little baby giraffe. And like, even looking back at photos with like the hair and the fashion and everything, and like my great grandmother, for example, she had the most immaculately styled hair, and she'd go and get a perm like every couple of weeks, and she also raised 7 boys while doing that. And like, part of that is what got me into it, and part of it is I've just always loved old things, so like antiques and everything. So it was like an easy shift into doing pinup.
Nice, nice. Mm-hmm. And what kind of got you interested in doing the pinup contests?
I am very competitive, as much as that, you know, at school we were very like high performing, even elementary school. So it was always like, okay, if you're good at something, you should be able to show that off and compete with it and find new ways to learn and grow with it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what got me into the competition part.
And you're doing quite well. You're definitely making your mark in the online pinup contest for sure. It'll be nice to see once things kind of get back to normal to see on the stage too.
Yeah. Part of the reason that I didn't start competing earlier was because I am up north, so I'd have to travel like 7, 8, even 9 hours to get to an actual like in-person competition. So it's been nice having the online ones as well.
Absolutely, and that definitely at least it gets your kind of feet wet and everything else, and you kind of know what to expect when you're getting into the live ones too. Good for you.
Yeah.
So going back to Miss Home Sweet Home, who are you going to be fundraising for?
I am going to be fundraising for 3 3/4 Studio, or Studio 3 3/4, depending on if you're going by the name or the logo. But it is a local tattoo studio that opened up, and then COVID kind of happened. And the owner, Corey, has been working for however many years, and he has always wanted his own studio, and he finally got to a point where he could open, and then things kind of didn't work out the way that everyone hoped they would.
Oh, I know it's definitely been hitting a lot of people. So, and it's great that the Miss Home Sweet Homes definitely attached this small business fund relief fund into it. So it's great that you guys are doing some fundraising for the small businesses. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
absolutely.
he really appreciates it.
He is like the absolute definition of like self-made small business, because he put everything into this. Like, you know, like he works so hard and he's so passionate, and then, you know, and like he even has his front desk is like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van with like working headlights and everything, and it is absolutely so cool.
Oh my goodness, that's great. That's great. Oh goodness. Now, is there any advice that you would give to anybody who wants to try doing online contests but aren't really sure if they want to do it or not?
I think a really important part is pay more attention to the community than to the competition, because it is so easy to get wrapped up in thinking, oh, what if this is wrong with my hair and they dock marks for that? Or what if my lipstick is not quite as well as I thought it was and I go on and it's smeared or something? But like, part of what's so great about the pinup community is the community. So like, I know you've interviewed some of the ladies here, and they're just so wonderful. And even like tomorrow, we're having like a pajama party on Zoom where we get to know all the girls and everything, which I'm very excited about.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I've heard that you guys have really kind of tried to embrace the online aspect thing and keep you guys together. And that's great that you guys are doing some Zoom parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's actually Goldie who's hosting it.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. That's great. Now, what your photo, I have to ask, your picture is absolutely stunning that you submitted for your contestant picture. Did you make the dress?
Thank you so much. And yes, that was the first dress that I fully patterned out myself. So I did my measurements, I drafted the pattern, and then I adapted the pattern to make it off the shoulder. So the bodice part is a traditionally made the same way you draft like a sewing pattern. And then the skirt is made off of that. So I attached the bodice, I made the buttons for it, I did all the seaming. I completely made it from scratch.
Mind is absolutely blown. Your talent is phenomenal. That is absolutely amazing. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. Now, who taught you how to knit?
I actually taught myself how to crochet. My grandmother tried to teach me how to knit when I was younger, and it didn't go very well. Yeah, I only learned how to crochet 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm self-taught. So I started out I learned because I wanted to do lace making. So I've actually done different lace making things like lace flowers and some like centerpieces, small things like that. And then I've been slowly working out. Like I made a shawl that was the same way you would do crochet lace, where it's the tiny appliques and then you use like a honeycomb stitch to attach it together. So I have one of those made out of a regular yarn that has like bats and hearts and flowers, because I made it as a little Halloween thing.
Oh my goodness gracious. And self-taught in only 2-3 years. And you, wow, that is phenomenal. Your talent is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
You definitely hold the craft queen.
Thank you. I actually did crochet for that. I used plarn, which is plastic yarn made out of old grocery bags. So you snip it into like different lengths and then you attach it, and then I crocheted gloves for it.
Oh my goodness gracious, that is absolutely amazing. Good for you.
Thank you.
Now, so do you have your outfit, if you make it into the top 10, do you have your outfit picked out for March 20th for the live event?
I'm between two of them because I am currently working on a blouse that I am hoping to have done and hoping to get in so I can show it off to everyone. But if not, I'll always post it on my crochet Instagrams. So.
Yes, awesome. That's great. Anything that you want to add at all or anything like that before we let you on your way?
I definitely say, even if you're not going to contribute to the Small Business Fund, definitely look around you, see who's local, check out your small businesses. We're all struggling right now, and if we can help each other out, that'll make all the difference.
Oh, hon, you're such a sweetheart. You really truly are.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We really appreciate it, and I wish you all the luck, and I really hope to see you in the top 10 on March 20th.
Me too.
All
Thank
right,
you so
love.
much.
No problem.
Bye.
Take care, love. So good to see you. Okay, and thank you so much for joining us, Miss Catalina Shears. Hello.
Hello, Nikki. How are you today?
I am fabulous, darling. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Oh my God, I know. I miss you so much.
I miss your beautiful face.
Just to give our listeners a little backstory, me and Morgan have known each other for years, and she is one of the original OGs of the Bombshell Beauties, and we kind of came up with this whole little idea in a little Glenny trailer. So yeah, so we've been on this whole journey together, really.
Aw, now OG, don't ever tell a lady's age out loud there.
Oh no. Oh, goodness. Now, while we're on the talk about our journey and everything, tell us about your journey. How did Miss Catalina Shears come about?
So Catalina actually came, it was, at the same time the Canadian Bombshell Beauty started coming out, like talking to you actually and your adventures made me realize, I mean, I do all the hair for pinup. I dress like this. I live like this. This is a thing, but it had never occurred to me to try competing or join a girl gang or do the thing. And so it was really inspired by you, actually, my friend. And then for the name, I combined two of the things I love best. So Catalina comes from my 18-year-old little lady cat who unfortunately has shuffled off this mortal coil, but her name was Catalina. And then Shears is, of course, hair scissors. So I'm still Scissor Kitty, the name of my business, just as a pinup form.
Nice, nice. Now, so you have entered pinup contests in the past as Catalina Shears.
Indeed.
And how have you been enjoying the pinup contest journey?
It's been wonderful. Like, what a fun adventure. It's such a great group of people out there, men, women, everybody in between. Like, it's just the flavor and the excitement and the energy and the support and seeing people come out, the amazing cars, the incredible music. There's so much talent in every direction involved in just rockabilly, pinup, the whole culture. It's not, I think, what people picture when they think of pageant. They might think of like, brutal competitivism, but it's not like that at all. It's just like an embrace of like-minded souls jamming it out together.
And it's really like we've been talking about this through it with the other interviews with the other girls too, that you go in as strangers and you really come out as friends and pinup sisters. Like you develop such a good close friendship from just being backstage and, and you're supposed to be competing against each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're there behind the scenes, we're looking all glamorous on stage, and behind the curtain falls, we're safety pinning each other's bra straps back in and, tucking in loose hairs and sharing this and that. And everyone's, standing on one foot to rest the other foot. And yeah, oh yeah, it's amazing. We're the sisterhood of the bullet bra, I suppose.
And you are truly known as the lipstick check girl. You definitely, every pinup contest that I've been involved in with you, you do the right along the line and just make sure everybody's lipstick is good and nothing on the teeth. So guys, just make it
step, right?
Exactly. It's making sure all our crowns are straightened, right?
That's right. I mean, like, a competition is one thing. Yeah, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants the sparkly tiara, me included. But you want everyone to feel their best. Like, it's really, you're there for each other as well. So, and, plus being short, it's really easy for me to just get a quick gander at everybody's gums and be like, oh, Betty got to wipe that one off. Oh, Cheryl got a little smooch. Why not?
Oh, awesome. Now you have a big contest coming up shortly, Miss Home Sweet Home. And so why don't you tell us about the charity that you're going to be fundraising for?
Oh, I'm so excited about this. So I'm actually, instead of a standard charity, I'm actually, because we have the option to do a charity or a local small business. So I'm actually fundraising for a little hidden gem here in St. Thomas, Ontario. It's Hammersley Fish and Chips. So it's been there for more than 50 years. And it's like hand battered, handmade, local fish. We have fisheries actually very close to St. Thomas, just down in Port Stanley. So a lot of local fish. It's just like a secret hidden gem. And of course, like many small businesses, it's been hard, especially for restaurateurs, I think, over COVID times. So I would like to support them, and see them keep going, and see what they can bring to our community, because the owner, Tammy, is just a lovely, dear, and wonderful soul. And she does a lot to support the community, and she takes a lot of care of some of our local elderly. She does a lot of good things, and a lot of people, I think, don't realize, because she keeps her good works under her hat, so to speak, or under her hairnet, I suppose. So I want to make sure that she's, not just getting some recognition, but getting the support that, she could use without having to feel like she has to go out of her comfort zone to ask for herself, I guess.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm excited to try them. I didn't even know, again, being in London, but I'm so close to St. Thomas. I will definitely have to take the drive and try them.
It's delightful. You won't be disappointed at all.
Nice. Now, since you've done pinup contests in person, and now this is an online contest, what are you kind of thinking has been kind of your little differences? Is there any challenges that you've kind of hit so far?
Definitely the plotting. So normally, for a competition, like you're doing, you are your own prop, and the locale you have no control over. But in this time, you've got control of everything. Like you've got yourself, you've got your props, you've got your location, you've got your lighting. Like all of that's going to factor in as well, because it's kind of like literally being living pinup posters is the way I'm kind of picturing in my head. So there's just been a lot more planning, like practicing poses, dry run photos. I'm actually doing mine this weekend. I'm not using some that I had done previously. So I want to enter with the same look that I will, if I'm lucky enough to move forward, then compete with. So it's just been really fun, right? I mean, in this time, like it's really nice to have a project to throw your whole heart into. So, lots of collaboration and thinking and plotting, and I'm enjoying the whole thing.
That's great. Now, is there any advice that you would give to anyone who wants to try a pinup contest, or try that's never done it before? Is there that we're kind of scared to do? Is there anything advice that you would give?
Yes. Okay. Definitely enter, and then run on over and give me a hug, and then just like put your smile on and go for it. We're all nervous. We're all sweating. We're all sharing deodorant behind that big curtain. It is a little nerve-wracking, but in reality, it's just a big sea of people who just want to see you shine, and you're doing it for them and yourself. So it's just like a collaborative love fest of people who love the whole vintage retro amazing vibe. Like I was so intimidated in my first contest, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually really amazing, and I'm so stoked that they found a way to bring this to us. Like Jo's done such an amazing job, and I'm just so stoked about this.
I'm really excited to see that's all live online and everything else, so we can all kind of tune in. And this is great for you too, because this is kind of like an international pinup contest for you.
Right? It's amazing. I mean, I didn't even realize at first, but this is like a North American wide thing. I mean, we've got contestants coming from, coast to coast and up and down. I'm here in Ontario. We've got Canadians in Vancouver. I think we have some in Quebec, perhaps. I know there's members in the States, from all over the States, people with all different levels of experience. Some have been to Vegas on competitions, and some this will be their very first one. So it really is the entire box of crayons, and that's my favorite type of crayon.
And isn't it great?
It's amazing. It's so good. This is what it's about, folks. This is what it's for.
Absolutely. And the group has been so amazing. Just I haven't entered into the contest, but I'm in the group, and just kind of watching you ladies interact with each other. And it's just really amazing and heartwarming to see everybody just kind of pumping each other up, and, everybody kind of sharing their stories, and, behind the reason why they're supporting certain organizations and businesses and everything else. So it's been, in times like this, with that everybody's been so separated, it's really brought us all together, and has definitely opened up so much more opportunities that we wouldn't have had normally. So
totally.
Yay, Jo.
It's amazing. Just so good. And to support small businesses, I mean, businesses have been hit hard. A lot of I lost my own business, had to close. My sister Kitty Rock and Roll Hair unfortunately did not survive COVID times, which is hard. And I've had to do my least favorite word in the entire English language is now pivot, because it trivializes the experience of having to suddenly shift your livelihood and figure out whether you're pivoting to a new career or you're finding some way to take what you love and do it virtually or whatever. You know, it's been a really hard time for a lot of people, and some of us sunk and some of us are floating, and that's amazing. But to be able to now do something that we love and also give that lift and support is so good. Just like exactly what we need. And that's what like Pinup's all about. This community has always been about helping each other rise. So now to put that to good use is like the best. It's the cat's meow, says Catalina Shears.
Oh gosh, darling, it's always such a pleasure to chat with you, honestly. And I hope you do so well, and I hope everybody, we see a lot of Canadians up there, and like you said, it's really great that we're getting those small businesses and those organizations, just their names out there and getting recognized. And even they have what do they have, like 51 sponsors or something like that.
So much generosity,
Yeah.
and every kind of business you can think of. It's just blown away. And they just keep coming, and then people are stepping forward and donating to help contestants or just to contribute to the kitty in general. Like so much good is going to come from this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I really appreciate it. And again, wish you all the best, and we'll hope to chat with you soon, love.
Oh, it was always a pleasure.
Great, and thank you so much for joining us. And we have with us today Stella DeVille. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I miss you so much, darling.
Oh, ditto, dude.
I know.
Sure.
Hopefully we get to see each other sometime this year.
I know. And you know what? Doing the video thing, it works for a small amount of time, but like seeing your face visually, like full in, makes a difference.
Totally. So kind of tell us about your journey, Stella DeVille. How did you become Stella?
Well, I've always kind of liked the whole like pinup thing, but more so the like greaser. So I'm totally a greaser pinup. I am not like, love all the gals that do their different thing, but I am not a dress wearing poofy kind of gal. I'm more like, if I can get away with no makeup, that's a girl. Yeah, I was at a point in my time in my life where I thought that, you know what, I don't care anymore. I want to be full, authentic me and don't care what anybody else says. So I seen that there was an advertisement for a pinup thing, and my husband's like, do it, babe, do it. By the way, my husband is amazingly supportive and he's handsome. So I got the courage up and I went and did it, and it was interesting. That's a good word, interesting. It wasn't the greatest experience, I have to be completely honest. It wasn't a good, the pageant that we met in, I don't think, in my opinion, was a good example of what the community is like. But I met you, which was absolutely fabulous. And you made me aware of the discrepancies in certain things. And then I met Roxy Riley, and she was fabulous. So I thought, you know what, these girls are kind of the thing I want to hang out with, like these particular ones. And you guys kind of gave me the courage to be like, dude, you're cool. And I'm like, woo! And just be me. And it's okay to be me. And I'm different, and I'm not like the other girls, but I have things to contribute to the community too. So yeah.
You're such an amazing soul.
You're crazy.
So speaking of being such an amazing soul, you are competing on an online contest, Miss Home Sweet Home 2021.
Yes, I am. Yeah. And it's for my girl.
So
Absolutely.
tell us who you're fundraising for.
Oh my God, the girl I'm fundraising for is the most amazing soul ever. I've known her for a really long time. She is so gracious, and she is an inspiration for a lot of women in the industry. She's worked really, really hard. She owns a tattoo shop. She's the sole owner. She has been all over Canada, learning and achieving her goals and exploring her talent. I am a billboard of her workings. I would show you other pictures, but this is family. No, I'm just joking. She is just like, she is so, I can't say enough about her. She does amazing things for her community. She does amazing things for so many people. Like every year, her and a bunch of gals that own the space together, they do great things for community living and domestic women stuff and kids. And she's a huge cat lover. So from a lot of the time near Christmas, all of her tips go towards giving it to the one cat shelter in St. Thomas. Like, she is the most giving, amazing soul, and she's really struggled through the COVID thing. You know, being a sole person with a small business owner in a small town, it's sometimes hard. And, you know, I find the tattoo industry gets really forgotten. Like, it's the beauty aspect and the restaurants and the retail, but maybe it's because of me that tattooing for me is a way more big experience than just getting ink on me. So, but I just think that we need to be more aware too of the different cliches and the different businesses that are suffering too, that aren't your norm, I guess you could say.
And what was the name of her business?
Oh, Electric Pineapple. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. And you said it was based out of St. Thomas?
Yeah. It's Electric Pineapple, and her name's Kate Kurz. Peace out, Kate. I love you. Yeah. So if anybody check her out on Facebook, she's amazing talent for sure.
Awesome.
Big heart.
Now, what challenges have you found for doing the online compared to in person, if any?
Honestly, I haven't really found any. This is my first time I've ever done any type of online pageant type deal. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not really one to talk about myself or really promote myself. I'm there, and if you want to pay attention and hopefully that, you know, you understand what my cause is for, then you'll vote for me. I'm not like an in your face push myself too much. That's just not me. So I just kind of do my thing and hope for the best and see all the other amazing, fabulous ladies. And
it's nice to see girls from the States too, where we wouldn't normally have that experience, eh?
No, like totally. And to see the diversity of us all, and it's just awesome. And to be supportive and like genuinely supportive, you know, no cattiness. God, cattiness is bleh. So yeah, I found it so far a great experience. I can't complain.
Yeah, Jo's done a great job. She's a lovely lady. I met her a couple years ago.
Yeah, this
so
is
lovely.
The first intro to it all. So, but I have no complaints. I think it's amazing.
Oh, good. Now, just wrapping up here, any advice that you would give to somebody who's not on the fence about doing a pinup contest, not really sure, you know, a little worried? What advice would you give to them?
If I can do it, you can do it. And just do it. God, just like experience it. And if you have to feel like you know, if you do it and you don't like it, that's okay. And if you do it and you excel and you feel good about yourself and you meet a couple of guys and gals in the same kind of interest as you do, like you gain from it, and it's an experience, and you say you can go, you know, it's a bucket list thing, right?
Absolutely. And you know, you never know, you end up meeting so many good people and end up having a sisterhood. And
absolutely, you never know. Like, I've met you, and I've met so many amazing other men and women through this community, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time I know you're super busy, so I really appreciate you taking the time out to chat with us. I wish you all the luck, Stella. I know you're going to kick butt as always.
And
we hope to see you at the live event on March 20th.
Absolutely. And thanks so much, Doll. I appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks, love, so much for joining us. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We have Lady Monique. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. We just want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on your busy schedule. I know you're kind of bouncing between jobs, so we will get right into it.
Sounds
So you are competing in Miss Home Sweet Home this year.
Yes, I am.
Now, and this is your first online contest.
Yes, online. This is my first time.
Perfect, perfect. Now, how many in-person contests have you done?
In person, I've done 3. I've done the Motorama Mayhem competition twice, and I did the Miss Pinup Brampton competition a few years ago.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So now what have you done differently to prepare for being an online contest?
So to be honest, I actually just registered a couple days ago, and believe it or not, I was looking up the Canadian Bombshell Beauties page, and I saw a link for the online competition. So I was like, oh, great, let's look into this and see what it's about. So I'd say it's a bit more networking as being done. So, you know, having to post things online and the links and everything to try and get people involved. As to an in-person competition, it's just posting, hey, I'm going to be here on this date, come showing your support. So it's a bit more work, but it's interesting. It's a new experience.
Absolutely. And I was so thankful that Jo's made this international and available for everybody to compete into. So that's awesome that she's done that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now kind of tell us what's been your journey? How did you kind of become Lady Monique?
So actually, I started getting into, I guess, the pinup culture. I'd say I was maybe about 20 at the time. And I was downtown Toronto in a record store, and they had a poster for sale of, you know, that classic painting of Betty Page where it has the panther tattooed on her on the back. So flipping through the posters, I saw that and I was like, wow, that's beautiful. And the guy in the store turns to me and he says, oh, yes, it's a painting of Katy Perry. I mean, not to knock Katy Perry, I think she's great, but my friend was like, her name's Betty Page, you idiot, basically. And so I was just like, well, who's that? And she kind of gave me a brief description, and then I started Googling her, and that's how I kind of, one thing led to another. And then so I was fascinated by the hairstyles and the vintage clothing. And I used to work at a gym, and I would always be kind of in the corner with the mirrors, practicing little hairstyles and victory rolls and stuff like that on my downtime. And one of the clients from there just came up to me one day and she was like, have you ever considered being a pinup model? So I was like, I mean, I guess, what do you mean by that? And she's like, well, a friend of mine has a pinup magazine, and I'm sure you would do great in it. So here's her number. I'm going to call her right now, let her know, and get in contact. And it was just like that. I did my first shoot with her.
Absolutely amazing. So you've had quite the journey.
Yeah, it's been an interesting experience. I mean, even if I'm not competing in an event or anything, if it's a car show, I usually go dressed up like this in character, and it's just great. It gives you an excuse to dress up.
Right. Now, and you are right into motorcycles and stuff too. So it's kind of nice and racing. And so it's kind of nice that you're in the girlier side, right?
Yeah. I mean, not too many people get to see this side of me quite often. I mean, I come home and believe it or not, this took 20 minutes.
And you look fabulous.
This is my pinup in a rush look. But yeah, usually, I mean, even my spouse, he sees me all the time. I come home and I usually have like engine grease on me, or I'm covered in dust and dirt I work with cars and car parts and stuff like that, right? So it's fun to have this completely other side.
Right. It's like a different persona. I absolutely love it. And you've really embraced it. And I love how you just made it Lady Monique, like it's that lady side of you.
Yeah, it's because it's completely different. It's the ladylike version of me,
right?
As opposed to the rugged tomboy that everybody gets to see on a daily basis.
That's perfect. I love it. So now, what's the company that you're going to be fundraising for to compete for the spot in Miss Home Sweet Home?
So it is. I turned around as if the banner is behind me. It's called $1 Million Smiles. So there's a car show that I guess I partake in every year, and it's called Woodbridge Cruisers. And so it's all vintage hot rod cars for the most part. And I go every week dressed up in my Lady Monique persona. And I help sell the raffle tickets at the car show. And it's 50-50 tickets. And the proceeds from that goes towards $1 Million Smiles. And what that is, they create, how would I say, playgrounds and stuff like that for children with like disabilities.
Oh,
And so they do toy drives and all kinds of stuff like that. And everybody's very hands-on into it, because the money that's raised, the equipment purchases all the stuff needed to build, I guess, these little play structures and toys and accessible things in the children's backyards themselves at home. So they have access to it at home. And it's the actual team that goes there and does it themselves. So it's not like they're hiring outside contractors. It's everyone's very involved, very hands-on, and does it all themselves together.
oh, that sounds absolutely amazing. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. And that's based out of, I'm sorry, where is that based out of?
Toronto. So
Toronto, okay.
yeah, Toronto, Ontario. I would say Woodbridge. So it's kind of like a little bit of north of Toronto, but
Okay.
GTA basically.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Oh, absolutely love it. That sounds so great. I love that you're doing that for them. And I love that it's something that's, that you've been doing for years too. So, and
I mean,
especially,
we got hit pretty hard with the whole COVID thing, because we can't have the car shows, and that's how we raise our money, with the car shows every year. So I saw this and thought it would be a great opportunity to see if I can get some funds for them.
oh, good for you, darling. Good for you. I love it. Now,
Thank
do you
you.
have any advice for anyone who wants to try a pinup contest for their first time, or even worried about doing an online contest?
I would say be yourself. The great thing about pinup is there's no standard, right? It's the whole point of pinup is embracing your own beauty and embracing who you are as a person. So, there's no age limit, no size limit, no, I guess, race, gender, nothing. It's about embracing your own beauty and shining how you want to shine.
Perfect. Absolutely. And again, the community is so supportive. And we were talking with the other girls too. The downfall with a pinup contest online is you don't have that in-person connection, when we're all backstage and, we're all kind of like fixing each other's hair and checking the lipstick and everything. But I hear you guys are having quite a support system and Zoom groups and stuff like that to kind of get to know each other and still extend that network, even though it's online. So that's great that you guys are able to do that.
That is for sure one thing I missed. I mean, last year or the year before, sorry, at the Motorama pageant, there was one girl there woman, I should say, that was like completely nervous, and she was trying to get ready at the show to do her hair, and you could just tell she was nervous. So myself and another girl that was competing with me, that's actually a good friend of mine, both of us kind of helped her with her hair, and we're like, okay, don't worry, we got you, we'll help you. And we ended up doing her hair for her in the bathroom at Motorama.
Oh, that's great. It really becomes a sisterhood, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and it's nice too with this international, is you're able to get to know girls that you wouldn't probably have a chance to get to know otherwise, compete, unless you did compete in the US or they came over here. So
yes, like I had seen someone had posted in the group about possibly pen paling afterwards, and I think that's, it's in times like this where we don't have that social interaction with people. Hey, it's always great to be able to write to someone, share your feelings, thoughts, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's very supportive.
absolutely. No, I will say the community has been pretty fabulous, hasn't it? And it's nice that
Yeah.
the rockabilly and the retro, the rockabilly, the psychobilly, it's just like you say, it's all kind of coming into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, I know you're in a rush, hon, because I know you got to get back to your other jobs. So I want to say thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with us. You truly are such a breath of fresh air. You're so lovely. I really hope you do very well, and we'll get you posted up there. And we wish you all the luck.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me again.
Thanks, hon. Take care and have a great day and be safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And thank you so much for joining us, Vintage Vera. How are you doing, darling?
I'm great. I'm great. Doing really well.
Awesome. Awesome. So good to see you.
You
So you are competing into Miss Home Sweet Home 2021.
I am. Heard about the contest through you, obviously. Looked into it and thought, I've never done an online contest, but there's no other kind of contest you can do right now, and seems like a good cause. So why not have a little fun?
Great,
So,
great. I'm
yeah.
so excited for you. And this is your first online contest, you said, eh?
It's my first online pinup contest. And for the record, it's my second contest ever. So yeah, one in real life and one online. So
since we're kind of talking about the pinup contest and pinup your journey, so kind of what was your journey? How did you become Vintage Vera?
So kind of took on a life of its own. Some of you probably know I have a vintage camper. She's a 1961 Glendale, cute little thing. And when I got her, my intention was to camp in her with my family, my son and I, and also to really glam her up. So she's very girly, she's really pretty painted, and she's got chandeliers inside and the retro black and white flooring. But my other plan was also to run pop-up vintage shops out of her, which I have been doing now for, I believe, 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. So I named the trailer Vera, because you always have to name your cars and your trailers, of course. Vera was my grandmother. She loved camping. They used to camp all the time, and as they got older, they got an Airstream and camped by the river, not far from their house. And so lots of fond memories there. And she also gave me my first vintage handbag. We used to go yard sailing together and church rummage sales and stuff. So it just seemed appropriate that the trailer be named Vera after her. And hence I decided to call the business Vintage Vera. And hence everyone started calling me Vintage Vera. I think there's a lot of people who still think my name is Vera.
I have to correct myself sometimes. I sometimes write to go Vera. It's like, wait a minute.
I'll answer though. I'm so used to it now that when people say Vera, I'm like, yeah. So someone today said something and I thought they were talking to me. I thought they called me Vera. They were like, the coworker looked at me and they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry, never mind. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you call me Vera, so I will answer. So when I decided to enter into the pinup contest, my very first one, and they asked for your pinup name, and I thought, everyone just calls me Vintage Vera. It seems that the pinup name kind of picked me.
It's perfect.
So I was like, I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to go with it.
And really, you've kind of already have that brand, so it just kind of works so well to it.
Yeah, it just kind of flowed together. It just seemed like a really natural progression, going from the pop-up shops, getting more into the pinup, and then finally entering and having the alter ego, so to speak, your little alias.
Right.
Everyone should have an alias.
Now, what kind of things are you kind of looking to see in the difference of being online versus in person? Like, what kind of challenges do you think you're going to kind of find with this one?
I guess it'll be different to not be in front of such a crowd, which doesn't actually bother me. I like people. I'm pretty comfortable on stage. Anyone who knows me knows I don't shy away from attention. So, so that'll be different to be talking to basically the screen versus a room full of people. I'm not really sure. Honestly, I don't know what to expect. It's kind of, but I didn't know what to expect when I did my first pinup contest either. So I know a lot of people do a lot of research on those things. I kind of prefer to go into it a little blind. Sometimes not having any expectations or preconceived notions kind of works out in your favor. I find it's just easier to go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so my plan is kind of go with the flow.
Now, it has been nice that they've had the Home Sweet Home group for you guys, that you guys can kind of like get to know each other a little bit, the contestants. And
Yeah, I was really surprised when I did my submission, which was only a couple days ago, and they posted my my photo with my bio. And right away, a lot of the girls were like, "Welcome, I love your outfit." And the Canadian girls, other ones who've entered, are like, "It's so nice to see another Canadian." Like, everyone's so positive and encouraging of each other's, which is really nice.
yeah, it's been really great to see. It really
Yeah.
has. Now, speaking of the event, it is also linked in with a fundraising for the relief fund due to COVID. What is the business or charity organization that you're going to be fundraising for?
So one of the things I liked about it was that it was a fundraiser, and you have to go to your charity of choice and basically say, "I would like to represent you. Here's what I'm doing." So you have to have their permission. You just can't pick something. You have to have their permission. So I chose the Season Center for Grieving Children, which is run out of Barrie. They service Simcoe County area and beyond. I want to say they've been established for over 25 years. I actually, friends of my mother's, she has a couple girlfriends who lost their husbands fairly young and had young children at the time. And I remember them taking their children and themselves going to the Season Center. So the Season Center helps children specifically who have lost a parent or caregiver to death, or who are fighting a deadly illness. So yeah, sadly, I find myself and my son going there. We lost my son's father last February, so it's been just over a year. And they have been the most amazing place for my son to go.
Oh, that's good.
And even during COVID, they've had to restructure how they do everything, like anybody else has. But they've still managed to make it a really interactive, safe place for the kids to, in a healthy way, express their feelings and grieve and remember their loved ones. So it just seemed like a natural that that would be the charity I would choose right now, as they're the ones supporting us.
And they probably rely a lot on events and, you know, charity drives and stuff like that, you know, aren't able to happen because of COVID. So
they are non-government funded. They rely solely on donations. So I'm sure, just like so many other charities, they are hurting right now because the events that you would normally do aren't able to happen.
And it's hard to sometimes, you know, get the internet reach, whereas, you know, they have, you know, some people that are kind of the old reliables that maybe don't have the internet, or, you know, stuff like that. So it definitely does kind of make it harder to do online events. Now people are getting more inventive, definitely, over the years, definitely prove that. After I think we all hit the culture shock of it all and figured out, okay, yay, Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone I know now knows how to use it, whether they wanted to or not. I was going to say, sometimes I think with seasons too, because of the work they do, and it's such a personal thing, I don't know that a lot of people would necessarily come out and say, "Hey, I go here, I take my kids here," because when you start talking about it, it does, like any other, I suppose, charity you're involved in, a lot of charities that anyone would be involved in are somehow emotionally connected to them. And it can be a very emotional thing to talk about. So.
Oh, sweetie. Yeah. Wish I could just give you a big hug right now.
I know, I wish I could hug everybody right now.
Right?
No, I'm going to start hugging random strangers when we're allowed. I don't know if I'll react, but I'll.
Oh, goodness, darling. Well, so yeah, so I guess we've got fundraising right up until the 19th, I think it is.
I believe it's the 19th, yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did do a lot of reading about the contest prior to entering, make sure I knew what I was getting involved in. they have a lot of different titles, which I think is great.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a lot of equal opportunity as well. They have men that can enter.
I
Anyone who
saw that man of the house is amazing.
Yes. Anyone who identifies as a woman can enter.
Yep.
So, and there's all different categories, which I think is really great. A little something for everyone.
And they've also added the car show too.
Yes, which is kind of fun. So
Absolutely,
everything they can to get people involved, and it's an international competition, which I also think is great, because doing a pinup pageant in person, I'm not necessarily going to meet women across the border. You tend to kind of stick to your geographical area because you don't want to travel too far.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of neat to be meeting and talking to people from California or, you know, like Texas and all different places. So it's kind of fun.
And even the girls from BC and Alberta and everything else. Like I've known Goldie and Delish for a couple years now. I've known about them and you know, I've briefly chatted with them online, but you know, to finally actually be able to chat with them in person and everything is just a completely different aspect. So it was kind of nice to be able to put the face to the name and chat with them and stuff instead of the talking online. It's kind of like in person, but not.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh goodness. I honestly, I think Joe's done such an amazing job with this contest and being able to have the live stream happening, so us viewers at home can, you know, watch the top 10 and see how it goes and everything. So
I'm excited about that. I
mean,
even if I don't make it to the top 10, I'm going to be sitting in front of my computer watching for sure. And I'm going to be hooking my mom up so she can watch, and anyone else I can get to, hey, you want to watch something fun? Come sit down and watch this.
Now, do you have an outfit that you're going to be wearing? If be it if you do get in, or even if you don't get in, are you still going to wear it, kind of thing?
I'll probably still dress up because I love any excuse to dress up. Right. And there are not enough excuses to dress up these days, it seems. So I did just get the dress that I'm wearing in my submission photo. And I haven't had a chance. That's the first time I've worn it, was when I did the photo shoot and used it for the submission photo. So I might wear that. Like, nice. You know, I mean, so it's cute in the photo, but it's a really cute dress. I haven't had a chance to wear it yet. So it'd be fun to wear it for something.
Absolutely. No, it's perfect. Now, is there any advice that you would give to someone who wants to take that first leap and enter, be it an online or in-person pinup contest that hasn't done it before?
Don't overthink it. Just do it. That's what I did. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, maybe I'd like to try this, or it was something that literally I was having a conversation with a friend. We were texting, and he had said, oh, you and your son should check out Motorama. They have this great mayhem in the back room. You guys would totally love it. And so I was checking it out, and that's when I saw it. I was like, oh, cool, they have a pinup contest. And he said, you should do it. And I was like, really? And he said, why not? And I said, okay. And I did. There
you go.
The deadline was like the next day. So I like quickly like did a little bio and took a selfie and then I was just like, okay, so I'm in. I guess this is done.
No turning back.
No turning back. And it was such a great experience.
Now, did you meet Sherry while you were there?
I don't think so.
No, you didn't get to meet her.
I'm trying to remember. It was my first contest, so it was a little bit
whirlwind.
And it was at Motorama, and it was 2020. So it was literally right before everything shut down. Mm-hmm. So Motorama was on the weekend, and we went into the lockdown fully across the country, as you know, on the Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a bit, it was a different, I'm sure it wasn't the usual Motorama. I've been told it wasn't the usual Motorama. There wasn't as many people there because there was so much talk going on and stuff. So it was, I think that even in itself was probably a different experience, but I did meet some really lovely girls who I do keep in touch with.
Nice.
And same thing, everyone, it's just such a good time. Everyone's so nice and so fun. And I mean, yes, it's a competition, but it doesn't feel competitive, if that makes sense.
Yep. No, it seems to be the common theme with everybody says the same thing. It's just, you go in as strangers and you come out as sisters.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you're fixing each other's, stuff, checking each other's teeth and everything else, and just kind of really cheering each other on.
Crooked, or, oh wait, let me fix your belt here, and yeah, it's really great. Everyone's just so nice and kind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. The pinup community is definitely pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're a great bunch of gals, I think, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh goodness, Darla. Well, is there anything that you want to add before we let you on your way?
I'm not sure when you're going to be airing this, if it's going to be before or after the contest.
It's going to be before, so we're actually going to be airing it this week.
So I was just going to say, anyone who's in a position to go on and look at the contestants, I'm not saying vote for me or donate towards me, I guess I should say, but if you're in a position and you have the opportunity, go on, look at the contestants. I'm sure you'll find someone you connect with in some way. And if you're in a position, make a little donation. Every little bit helps for all of these organizations. And when you read them, they're all good causes.
Yeah.
So,
and like you said, every one of the causes means something to each of the pinups too. So
it does. And as I said, when you're reading it, I'm sure you'll find something that you connect with and resonates with you. And you think, yeah, that's a good cause. Send them $5.
Right.
Skip your latte. That's a big thing for me to say because I really love my latte. Really love my latte.
Oh goodness. Well, Vintage Vera, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. As always, you're such a breath of fresh air. You're so lovely to chat with.
Thank you. I'm so happy you invited me to be here. It's been so much fun. I was looking forward to it so much. So.